What is up, you legends? How is everybody doing today? Welcome back to Phil Plays Bass, guys. I hope everybody had a lovely Monday. I hope the week is looking good for everyone. Nate and Akil already in the house. Thanks very much, guys. How tight are the bass lines of Megadeth? Dude, that's a good question. You're gonna have to ask all the Megadeth fans. I can't say I know that many Megadeth tunes. But hey, my problem. I should be checking out more of that music for sure. It says David Ellefson is an awesome bassist. I'm guessing that's the guy's name. I think they had two other bassists. I was a huge metal guy as well, but I don't remember listening to Megadeth that much. I was more of a Slipknot, Korn, Soilwork even. Bunch of not so mainstream bands. Older I got, the more I started enjoying the music I grew up on when I was a wee lad. Like 80s synth rock, yacht rock. Oh, dude. Of course. Hall and Oates, man. Hall and Oates. Oh, geez. Tornado of Souls. They certainly have a knack for dramatic song titles. Tornado of Souls. Sounds like something the AI would come up with a little bit. But good. It's human. It's human. Cool. We've got lots of things to do today. I am going to go through a little bit of a warm up because I haven't done much playing today. So, without further ado, moving on to the action cam. Turn on a little bit of YouTube if I can. Yes. Sick. Oh, cool. No, different screen. Just about there. I'm just about there. Sorry, bear with me for a second. There we go. Much better. No, stop switching to this. Okay, stay there. Thank you. Sometimes this week we need a call back to Labubu and Brother to Brother. Brother to Brother? Yeah, I transcribed sort of bass solo from that tune, didn't I? As far as I remember. Okay, Labubu's going to make a comeback at some point this week. Promise. Ask and you shall receive. In the meantime, guys, it's going to be a little bit of a boring start to the stream today because I've... Whoa. Nope. No, thank you. Don't need the Vercel toolbar. I just need it. Oh, come on. Just need to open. Okay, here we go. Better. Right. Our usual little starting off routine. break. Damn, this exercise is hitting me a bit harder than I thought it would. Hello, Michael. Thank you for joining. And yes, you're right, Mike. I am indeed wearing my granddad's shirt. Yeah, you say I've got a memory like an elephant, Mike, but you remember my outfits more more than I remember them. You and Nate, you guys. This is not going to turn into a fashion channel, all right? I don't have enough of a fashion sense for that. But you guys clearly should have your own fashion channels. Food for thought. Food for thought. You never got to meet either of your granddads, Mike. Is it because they were on the other side of the planet? Or had they unfortunately passed away before or you were able to see them, to visit them? Okay, next, Hadrian number 2. 20-second cooldown. We don't need that. I'm ready to go straight away. Okay. Mike says, my mother's father was born and raised in China, which makes him Chinese. Duh. That makes me a quarter Chinese. I did know that, Mike, but that doesn't explain why you weren't able to meet either of them. It says, just another Phil fact. He hates disco. I do? I kind of like disco. Kind of like disco. I'm a little bit sort of center-like. Not center-dislike, more center-like towards disco. Yeah, what if I said something about read comment above? Read comment above. Which one, Nate? Excalibur. How is Excalibur and Black Betty on this fine afternoon? What if I said that betrayed some dislike of disco? Yeah, I'm not seeing the comment, Nate. Sorry. It could be that you're sharing a link or something, possibly. Ooh, my. Yeah, I'm not seeing it come through. Just text, but whereabouts? No, dude, I kind of like disco. Plus, it's it's fun for us bass players, isn't it? Lots of moving parts. Check Discord DM. Gotcha. Right said Fred once said that Phil was too sexy for his shirt. So sexy it hurts. Too sexy for Milan, New York, and Japan. Even too sexy for your party. And he won't disco dance. Yeah, yeah, even the one about chest hair didn't come through. That's weird, dude. But yeah, like I said, not a fashion channel. Will never turn into a fashion channel. But I have to make an effort, a little bit of an effort. Although I kind of look like I just rolled off a Martin Scorsese film. I look a bit like a wise guy, a cheap wise guy. Mike says, YouTube dislikes your humor. Sorry, Nate. YouTube dislikes your humor. It's weird, dude. Weird that these comments would not be maybe sexy. Could be the word sexy. If you try reposting that comment without sexy, it might be. Yeah, that might be the reason why. My father's parents were passed by the time I came into being. My mother's father had to return to China before I was born because of a civil war in China. Never came back. Yeah. And I'm sorry to hear that, Mike. Unfortunate. From our part of the world, some of these world events seem so far away, but in your case, you know, they did affect you. They might have been on the other side of the world, but they did affect you in a very personal way. So that's, you know, sorry to hear that. It's not a good thing. Definitely not a good thing not to be able to share, not to be able to get to know your grandparents, you know, not to be able to meet the people who you come from. So unfortunate. I met all of my grandparents, and I'm immensely grateful that I did. Mike says, I don't have my bass today because it's my wife and mine's anniversary, so we're just laying in bed watching TV. Oh, that's very nice, Mike. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. How many years, Mike? Okay, I'm just going to go through the Bumblebee real quick because I don't want to spend too much time warming up. But it's got to be done. All right, Bumblebee. Let's go. Starting at 90 beep 95. Yeah, let's go. Oh. All right, speeding it up a little bit. Yeah, straight to 120. Why not? 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. Ah. Actually, okay. I will consider that to be enough for a warm-up today. I'm not trying to push it to 700 BPM. No need for that today. But there is a need for me to continue transcribing. Spotify be on there. Either should anymore, but what should be on there is Amazing Slowdowner. I want to run through that last chorus because after that, seems like I've only got 2 minutes worth of soloing on this thing, and I think I transcribed the second part of it yesterday. No, I forgot to transcribe the second part of it yesterday. So let's go through that real quick. A bit of a recap for those who weren't there the last couple of days. Been transcribing this lovely solo by the Swedish bassist extraordinaire Johan Hansen Larsson, also known as JHL on his YouTube channel. Fantastic improviser, technician, everything, both on guitar and on bass. In this case, it's a guitar solo because I'm going to play this jazz tune at the end of next week at an open mic with a piano player I'm just going to meet on the night. So I figured, what a good excuse to brush up on this particular solo. 36 years, Mike. Congratulations. That is really cool. And Jeffrey's just signed into chat. Welcome, Jeffrey. Thanks for joining. Mike says, as I got older, I became interested in the Chinese side of my lineage. I got into Kung Fu to explore the culture. That's after going to the Chinese all-you-can-eat restaurant ran its course. Would you consider that to be step one of exploring your Chinese ancestry / heritage, Mike? First, you go to the American all-you-can-eats. And then, what's next? What is next after that? Well, clearly learning martial art, but that is that is very funny, Mike. I reckon learning the language or like reading Confucius should be somewhere on the ladder as well. Learning about Taoism. That was it. Taoism or Taoism. Then yeah. Asking the waitress how to count to 10 and swear words. Right. People always say swear words are one of the first things that people learn in the language. So let's go through chorus number 1 of There Will Never Be Another You. Let's do with the intro as well. At 90. I think I can do it at 90% roughly. Let's go. Oh. Well, that was roughly where we got to yesterday. Clearly, I'm still not at 90% yet, but I'll be working my way towards it. Right, so this one is going to be particularly difficult because it's an unusually there's a bit of a rhythmic displacement with the line, where it's a line that's usually lands on a strong beat, and in this case, it lands on a sort of weak beat or a weak subdivision of the beat, which makes it feel like it's displaced, because it is. But it also means it's really weird for me to wrap my head around what's going on exactly. If you listen closely, with a few seconds run up to it. 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. This line. Here. Just here. Oh boy. That's tough. Yeah, that's going to be really difficult for me to figure out exactly what's going on. Mike says that the waitress spoke Mandarin, but in Kung Fu we can't in Cantonese. Wow. Really hard language to learn because nothing sounds remotely familiar. Studied French for a few years, and there are many words that are similar to English. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I remember a few years ago seeing some sort of language expert that said that roughly 60% of the English language comes from Old French or Frankish, or yeah, I would probably just say Old French because I'm not sure if it's Frankish or not. But sorry, I'm Gabby today because I don't have my bass, but I'm still hanging with Phil Plays Bass on my anniversary, and thankfully your wife will be grateful that this will only last for 45 minutes to an hour, roughly, and then you can dedicate the rest of your day to spending quality time with your life partner. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that's the one. I'm gonna have to slow that down to a ridiculous speed because where am I gonna play that? I can't believe I remember that line 10 years later. That is crazy. Pretty proud of myself. Could be done. And that's the end of our solo. There's nothing after that. I think. Yeah. 210. I think it ends there. Yeah, and then the rest is just an empty recording. So that's the end of our. That's the end of our. There Will Never Be Another You. I think originally his guitar solo, his improv was a lot longer, but I don't remember recording it, or maybe he stops it. I'm not sure. What's up, Zahar? Really enjoyed the thing you shared on the Discord channel. Link in the description below. Oh, I haven't updated it. It's probably out of date again. I thought that was really funny. Feel Good Inc. Every instrument is 5 BPM behind. That is pretty good. Pretty decent exercise as well, in fact. I may sound a little nerdy. because because it's pretty hard to follow. If you're literally just playing the bass line, requires a lot of focus to just play along with it. I don't feel too good, Inky. That was pretty funny. Uh, yeah, that is pretty. I want to see if it will trigger a copyright thing. So just gonna see if it works. YouTube, come on, YouTube. Where's YouTube? There we go. Ah, pretty hard, but I think I did manage to play it a couple of times. It's really, really difficult. You've got to really trust in your sort of inner pulse. So thanks for that, dude. That's pretty interesting way to test yourself. Anyway, you know me. I like to make fire out of any kind of wood. One day I'm going to show it to my son and say, boy, this is hard. This is fart. This is random art. Meshuggah, but if they were indie rock. Zachar, you might, if you're sharing something, you might have to go and put it in the Discord if you haven't already. You might have already done that. No, I don't see anything. Because YouTube will automatically block certain comments in the YouTube chat. Right, so I've got this thing transcribed. Pretty chuffed about that. Let's try a little faster. Totally out of sync. Okay, one more time. Yeah, nearly. Ah. Okay, well, I've got the notes. I just don't know how to play them. Oh, it sounds like Meshuggah. Gotcha. EMG, my favorite track. He mashes two songs together and they are insanely good. I have the impression that things are very strict in Russia. Are they? Seems to me like Zachar was able to order 104 shots the other night for some reason, even though nobody was turning 104. Why 104, Zach? Why 104? I'm very curious. Seems like it should mean something. You know, 100 shots I would understand because it's 100. 104. Yeah, YouTube is blocked, but you're here. The same way, same way the internet is controlled in China, but there are some ways to sort of circumvent circumvent the law. There are some ways to circumvent these bans with VPNs, etc., etc. Double shots for free, and we accidentally ordered more than we wanted. Oh, fair enough. Oh, fair enough. Um. Well, very cool, very cool solo there, and managed to find a few interesting ways to sort of go around the technical difficulties of some of these lines. Because we've practiced the sort of Hadrian spreading exercises so much, I feel so much more confident approaching, let's say, like major seventh descending arpeggios with a really spread out fingering over two strings rather than what I would normally do, which is over three. It means you're really confined to the sort of top of the neck, which is not the best area to be in, especially since the guitar has so much more range. But whereas if I take it here and take advantage of that double pluck, that means I'm in a really good sort of area of the neck, where I can reach both high register, sort of lower register, and I have all of these two bottom strings in case I need to sort of go down really quickly. So very cool. Very cool new way to approach some of these lines. I'm super chuffed that I've taken a bit of a leap with that. It really feels like I've sort of broke new ground as a bass player, because I'm approaching a solo I already knew, or I already mostly remembered, but now with an additional set of technical tools that I can approach it with on a different instrument. This kind of stuff is really sort of not life-saving, you know what I mean, but it really allows you to play these lines that otherwise you'd be limited by because of technique or lack of strings. So the fact that we've transcribed a bit more Hadrian and practiced it more means it's really opened my mind, and it's made me less reluctant to do some of these more risky things, especially at high speeds. I'm yet to find out if I can do it, but as far as I remember, I tried it a couple of times earlier today, and it was feeling pretty fluid. So might actually be able to play this solo at speed alongside Johan, which would be, I mean, in my book, a big achievement, because I don't think I was ever able to do it properly, to do it justice. I'm gonna wrap this up with a little bit of what Nate had requested yesterday, since this is a copyright-free track. Should be able to put it up again. And Nate, as far as I remember, you were struggling to transcribe stuff near the end, which I think happens around the Do correct me if I'm wrong, but around the sort of 2:30 mark is where it starts to go a little jammy. Yeah, I think this is kind of where I'm starting from this point where the sort of main bass line stops. Yeah, this gets pretty cool, man. There are some interesting lines in there. Nope. Switch to YouTube. YouTube cam. Slow down. I can go. Okay. Just don't show the 30-second mark. Yeah. Bubas. Okay, let's have a listen to that first little line. This is pretty straightforward. So we are in F minor. Yep. This is kind of like a 1/5 minor third, 5, 4. Let's keep going. I'm getting some sort of slide here. Again, still sort of roaming around the F minor area. Now the note I am taking for as a sort of visual reference to decide to analyze sort of function of each note are these two Fs. F here, F here. Sending arpeggio. I think this is what I'm hearing. Yeah, F, F, C, F, E flat, F, A flat, G, E flat, A flat. And as far as I remember, there were a bunch of interesting double stops there. You hear another slide there, do you? Whereabouts exactly? Yeah, A flat, C, G, A flat. This one's really cool. Starting on that high B flat, and then immediately sliding down from that G, the B flat, G, and immediately sliding down. Very, very cool. Very cool line that is. There's another one that's happening in just a second as well. That's quite beautiful. Yeah, this is really nice that it follows the strings. I really like it. Oh, I hadn't heard this one. There's a nice sort of double stop here. A flat, flat, E. It's a nice little major chord there. I think that's what I'm hearing. There's this one as well. Is it? And there's a couple of times that he plays that C minor 7, minor 7 double stop. C flat, E flat, couple of these. Then he switches to a couple of times where you can hear this as well. And then that A flat major as well. Pretty cool. Let's go through that again. That's the line I was describing earlier. sorry, E flat, E flat, slide to C, down to A flat, down to F, or to C. Oh yeah, sorry, flat, E flat, slide to C, slide down to B flat, A flat, F flat, and then down to C, and then back to F. There it was. Did you hear that little? Very discreet, but very nice. So again, that chord is B flat, flat, C, triangle, how I see it. Tall triangle, -7. Short triangle, dominant. Janky triangle is major 7. I'm a visual learner. You've got to sing the lines, man. That's the best way to memorize them. Take the shortcut of singing it in your head, and that way you can sort of wrap your head around it, and then comes time to transcribing it on the instrument. I don't know which one's quicker. I'm sort of struggling to retrace my steps back to the sort of inception of transcribing. Funnily enough, I've got some of my students on piano just a week ago. I put a tune on. It's like a Carrie Underwood pure pop song, super classic chord progression, and I'm like, okay guys, I'm not telling you anything, just whatever you can gather from this. Anything, any bass note, any melody, anything at all. And there was nothing. It seemed like there was nothing for them to latch onto, and I felt a bit embarrassed because I was like, clearly I'm setting the bar a bit too high. I've forgotten how difficult it is at first to transcribe anything at all. So yeah, I need to do some thinking about that, because I want to find the intermediary steps so that they can eventually get there to approaching any sort of song and transcribing it. But I need to remember what steps I took first. And obviously simple little piano lines, something simple as a couple of notes, or start with something like that, and then eventually start complexifying it to chords and all of that. But I can't be too shouldn't be too demanding at first. I don't want to scare them off. That'd be counterproductive, really. All right, guys. Shorter stream today because I've got to cook, and it's board games night tonight. So I've got to make some room for that. It's important. Quality family time, eh, Mike? You know what I mean? And it says, I tried for a week straight to scribe this. Meanwhile, Phil doing it in real time on the fly like it's riding a bike. Yes, it is kind of like riding a bike for me, Nate, but you didn't see all of the intermediary steps that I took for the last 20 years, i.e. the hundreds and hundreds of times where I've transcribed literally anything that could come my way. Obviously, I didn't start off with jazz solos and sax and complicated jazz lines. First, it was just a regular fill that I'd like in a tune, and then I would spend hours and hours and hours, and then you wouldn't realize how quickly you progress, really. And yeah, it's definitely worth doing, because the kind of baffles me a little how some music teachers put so little emphasis on ear training, on your ears. It's so much about playing and being able to master a tune that I'm like, but yeah, cool, but what if they can't do it on their own at all? Are they gonna have to be people who rely on charts and actual dots all their lives? or for somebody to just spoon feed them a tune, or do I want to build them up to be able to transcribe things by themselves? Maybe I'm being a bit ambitious, but maybe it's overly ambitious. Maybe it just takes a very obstinate kind of person like you guys, like me, to sort of master, quote unquote, that kind of skill, which I don't think I've mastered. It's just I've become pretty good at it, to a point where it seems even a little magical for someone who's never done it. It says, so back in '94 when I was taking guitar lessons, my teacher just showed me where all the A's were, and the homework was playing all the A's on the board and humming the notes every time I plucked it. Next week, he moved to all the B's, then C's. Yeah, I am catching your drift. I get the gist. I like that you combined the two together. I did get, yeah. Good. I'm not a huge fan of these exercises, man, because they seem. I mean, granted, you have to know where all the A's are, where all the C's, the B's, and all the notes, all the fretboard stuff, 100%. But for a student, it seems kind of. I'm like, what motivates them to pick up the instrument and literally just A, 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 A. You know, what motivates them to do that? It seems like, but it's important. You're right. It's very basic in a way that the student does not have a problem remembering it. But it's like I think I would struggle as a student to get hooked a little bit, because this seems like such a weird Mr. Miyagi type of exercise that I'm just like, yeah, you're giving me this, but if I don't see the point, I'm gonna struggle to see where this is going to take me. And I'm this kind of annoying. I am this kind of person. It's like, if you don't tell me where this is going, I'm gonna struggle to just conscientiously repeat the exercise unless I know where this is taking me. You know? Yeah, that's it, dude. You know, for an adult, adults kind of trust a bit more in the process, so they will be able to practice this exercise even if they don't see beyond beyond the horizon. But for kids, especially boys, they won't do it a single time, man. They want to do slap, they want to do tapping, they want to do Victor Wooten, they want to do yeah, that's it, or just cool stuff, cool stuff. On the piano, all my students want to do, the boys, the young boys, they just want to do boogie woogie. So I have to learn boogie woogie, and you guys, really, really hard in terms of two-handed independence. Really, really difficult, and all of it is you have to pick it up by ear. It's all blues licks and all of that, and so much of it just relies on the dynamics. A great vehicle for students training their dynamics and their rhythm, being able to stick to a rhythm and the consistency. Very, very important. Because boogie woogie, you're on your own, right? Or at least you can create the whole everything. You're just a one-man orchestra, really, which means you have to be very, very solid. But boy, difficult stuff to approach. And being young, didn't take it seriously because of that. Yeah, yeah, that's it, man. I wouldn't have either. One of my original bass mentor, he would have all of these little homemade exercises that he had sort of developed over the years to tackle like particular things, but he would make these exercises kind of sound cool. I remember one of the first ones was instead of doing one finger per fret exercises to force me to use my little finger, he would have this thing. It was essentially Lady by Mojo. But he would use all of these famous bass lines as vehicles for his exercises. Obviously, the bass line is not really played like. But the point was to use your pinky finger to slide up and down. I think there was even a moment where he was forcing me to play like a slide on two strings with just the pinky finger. Blisters the amount of pain that I got in there. But I was like, oh, but this sounds really cool, so I want to get it. I feel like you've got to hook people in and be a little bit clever with the exercise you offer people. Tapping is definitely fun, dude. Sure, I could play the song after, but doesn't help for the creative side and learning the instrument fully. True. Boogie Woogie was the first thing I've learned on piano. Zahar, I'd love to see a video of you playing Boogie Woogie, dude. Because my version of Boogie Woogie is pretty basic. I'll see if I can play a little bit. Oh. Okay, cooking's gonna have to wait. I'll do this and then I'll shoot. Very, very simple from a YouTube tutorial. But it's already pretty demanding. The right hand, left hand, independent. Logic. You guys can't. Back on you. On Logic. Not gonna want to do it, is it? Boogie again. Oh, great. I'm going to switch to a different streaming software because OBS is really, really buggy. Really buggy. It was too long ago. Yeah, good one, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I used to be able to lift 220 pounds on the bench press. Yeah. But you know, long ago. No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm sure you could. Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. I'll turn it on. You guys can't hear anything, right? Yeah, you can't hear anything. Never mind. I'll turn it on properly tomorrow. Yeah, by the way, guys, I'll be streaming tomorrow again, I think. I'm meeting a friend tomorrow, potentially for some work. But after that, or before that, I should be able to do an hour of streaming and show my progress on this. There will never be another you. And Nate, after I've showed you these the little lines in that video, that baseline that you liked, if there's anything else, dude, do let me know. I love transcribing and I love showing stuff. I love explaining stuff. So if I was a little too fast or if I skipped something, do let me know. Might ask my teacher for sheets for boogie, a voogie. Le boogie voogie. Alright, gotta go and cook. You guys didn't hear that, but that was my stomach growling super loud. Thank you all for joining again today. It was a pleasure to see Nate, to see Zahar, to see Michael, to see Jeffrey, and to see Akil. I think I called everybody. Sweet. Good to be able to stream every day again. It's nice. I'm just able to sort of follow up really quickly on things and just really like it. It's yeah, I don't like being away for 5 days in a row and just not having all that time to sort of figure out interesting things to talk about or to practice myself. So thank you all. I'm very grateful for your presence. You guys keep me accountable to certain things. Much appreciated. And hopefully I have some kind of a positive effect on your practice as well. That's all I wish for. Guys, I will see you all tomorrow. This was Phil Plays Bass. I'm not going to try to do an outro today, am I? Okay, I'm going to try to do an outro today. And I'm going to fail miserably, but give it a shot. Okay, guys. Spotify working? Thank you all very much. This was Phil Play Bass. I'll see you all tomorrow. In the meantime, guys, play loads of bass, do lots of practicing, and I will see you all tomorrow. Toodles.